Last time, we talked about an immature Type 2 civilization under the Civilizational Range Model. If you haven't seen the previous videos on this topic, do check them out. The link is in the description below. Today, we will be exploring a mature Type 2 civilization and some of its defining characteristics. In Zubrin's view, for an immature Type 2 civilization to advance to a mature Type 2 civilization, it must learn to master its entire stellar system. He believes that humanity's home, humanity's environment, is not the Earth, it is the solar system, and we won't control our fate until we control it. In the past, there have been several incidents where extraterrestrial projectiles or asteroids have made contact with the Earth. The most famous of these asteroid impacts is the one that hit the Earth about 65 million years ago. With an explosive force of over 200 billion kilotons, this was the extinction event that wiped out all the dinosaurs from the face of the Earth. Ever since then, there have been many more asteroid impacts. For example, the October 1st, 1990 projectile exploded in the Central Pacific with a power equal to the 10 kiloton atomic bomb that leveled Nagasaki at the end of World War II. This is among the lightest artillery that came from outer space. But as we know, humanity has been hit by far worse. On the 12th of February in 1947, a larger extraterrestrial projectile with a 100 kiloton explosive force, which is 10 times the Nagasaki bomb, impacted less than 400 kilometers from the Russian city of Vladivostok. Moreover, a much larger hit occurred on the 30th of June in 1908 when an extraterrestrial warhead with a force of 20,000 kilotons or 20 megatons hit Tunguska, Siberia, leveling thousands of square kilometers of forest, killing thousands of deer and perhaps hundreds of Siberian hunters. All three of these asteroid impacts were documented in the 20th century alone. So even as a mature Type 1 or an immature Type 2 civilization, humanity is completely helpless. If we are to be in charge of our fate, we must be able to control our true environment in a way that only a Type 2 civilization can. We must take charge of the asteroids. So only when we become a spacefaring mature Type 2 civilization can we truly master our environment in the solar system. Now, the asteroids, which offer nothing but mass death for planet-bound Type 1 civilizations, hold the promise of vast riches for Type 2 spacefaring civilizations according to Zubrin. In his book, Space Resources, Professor John Lewis of the University of Arizona considers a common asteroid with a diameter of just 1 kilometer. He estimates that out of this mass of about 2 billion tons, 200 million tons would be iron, 30 million tons high-quality nickel, 1.5 million tons metal cobalt, and 7,500 tons mixture of platinum group metals, all with an average value of $20,000 per kilogram. This makes a total value of $150 billion just from the platinum metal group. Moreover, some near-Earth orbit asteroids also contain life-sustaining elements such as carbon and oxygen, due to which some people, such as Professor Lewis, have pointed to them as the best targets for human colonization. In fact, humanity would not be classified as a mature Type 2 civilization until it expands to mine and colonize the asteroids of both near-Earth and the main belt between Mars and Jupiter. It is believed that a mature Type 2 civilization would have mining bases as well as farms and industries on asteroids with the help of advanced robotic technology. For humanity to reach this level, it would require the widespread use of controlled fusion, which would make very large-scale employment of artificial power possible in the main belt for the sustenance of plants and other forms of life. Now, achieving even this level of advancement does not mean that a civilization has fully become a mature Type 2 on this scale. For that to happen, it must learn to master and exploit all the available resources in its entire stellar system. In the case of humanity, we must venture out to the outer solar system beyond planet Mars. Our outer solar system is a vast arena consisting of 4 spectacular giant planets, along with a vast number of moons, asteroids, and comets of every description imaginable or unimaginable. Humanity has only now begun to explore this realm, but it is clear for some people like Zubrin that these outer worlds contain the keys to continued human survival and progress, and our posterity's hopes for the stars. But why is that the case? Well, if we were to look at humanity's history of technological advancements, it is clear that energy utilization and technological development have always had a very strong positive correlation. This means the more energy we have, the better our technology. So according to many, the rise in humanity's energy utilization will most likely continue to grow exponentially. If this is the case, then in a couple of centuries, the energy stockpiles of the Earth and its moon will be effectively exhausted. So, sooner or later, the enormous reserves of energy available in the atmospheres of the giant planets must be brought into play. The 4 outer giants of our solar system, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, contain enormous amounts of helium-3 that can be used as fuel for nuclear fusion power plants. So it is not far-fetched to imagine that a century or so from now, nuclear fusion using the clean-burning D-helium-3 reaction will be one of humanity's primary source of energy, and the outer planets will be the Persian Gulf of the entire solar system. Apart from this, several moons of these giants contain many valuable life-sustaining elements such as water, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, among others. Currently, we do not have the appropriate technology or the motivation to colonize these outer worlds. However, in the future, the need to acquire helium-3 to fuel our nuclear-powered propulsion systems will be one of the prime motivations for the colonization of the far worlds of the outer solar system. So once humanity has mastered the entire solar system, including the gas and ice giants along with all other celestial bodies, can it truly reach the status of a fully mature Type 2 civilization? This is of course true for any other immature Type 2 in the universe. It must learn to exploit all of the available resources in its stellar system to be recognized as a mature Type 2 civilization under the Civilizational Range Model. So what happens when humanity or any other civilization in the universe achieves this level of control in their respective stellar systems? What will be their next step if there is even such a step? Well, for such civilizations then, the only possibility would be to expand outward into the vast universe beyond their home star. Once they begin to approach this level of expansion, they will have begun their transition to an immature Type 3 civilization. But that is a topic best left for another time. If you enjoyed this video, do leave a like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. When do you think humanity will advance to this level, if ever? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.